Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, happy. Today's Wednesday, Tuesday. What is today?
Tuesday.
My God, these days, I don't even know which is what. I'm looking at schedules, like baseball schedules and this schedule, what we're doing here at work. I should have known better because the first game of the series last night. I can always go by sports. I don't know about you, but I can always get centered by knowing what is going on with sports. Last night, when the series opener, it was the Fightins. Hey, look, Trea Turner is having a great year. We said before the year that for the Phillies to contend, Turner has to be, back to himself. Man, 3 hits, home run yesterday. I mean, he was fantastic. On a night when, Schwarber's quiet, you get a big-time performance out of Trea. Trea has been great this year. Without Bryce, he's been a big deal, right? And he showed up last night. Phillies continue to win in Florida. And Mick pitched well, right? 5 innings, quality start, 3 hits. Well, not quality, but 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, only 1 run. I mean, that's what you want. He looked good. Well, his pitch count was a little high, but, danced a little bit out of trouble. But he was fine. And then, look, lo and behold, Taijuan Walker, another clean inning out of the pen, VG.
Love Taiwan.
What do you say, buddy?
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, it's a great day, man.
Good.
Trea's the machine at Bohm. Don't slight the Bohmer.
Yeah, Bohmer's been hitting. Bohmer's locked in.
A little out of control right now.
Bohm's locked in right now.
Yeah.
No. Listen.
Is he good enough?
They're able to win, and, they're able to win while Bryce is out. The biggest thing that has, to me, during this whole win streak is that they're surviving Bryce.
Yeah, but they're not just they look really good surviving. Oh, there's where Bohm ranks since May 1st amongst third basemen, 1st in hard hit balls, 3rd in hits, 7th RBIs, 3rd in average, 6th in OBP. I mean, come on,
The Bowminator.
He's having a run. This is 6 weeks now.
The Bowminator.
Having a run.
No, I mean, listen, that's good.
Yeah, put on a show. Trade him at the deadline.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to need power bat. Listen, he's hitting the ball well. It's good for his confidence. And again, I get back to without Bryce, I was afraid. Now, listen, I know it's Toronto and it's Florida, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to win games, and they're winning without Bryce.
They are. They look good. They're fun to watch. Abel, I mean, you can't ask for much more than him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at the point where he's an oh my God, he's untouchable.
No, but he's pitching well enough that I think he's an asset you can move.
Yes.
This is what we got to think about.
I completely agree. But there are people that don't want to move him.
I don't know who they're lunatics. I mean, he's all right. I mean, if he could get his stuff to be a closer at some point. But hey, Kirkering, first save. The guy's his eyes are different now. He's growing. He's maturing this year. He looks a little more confident.
You were on his eyes.
Yeah, he looks confident.
He does not have the doe eyes.
I think he's given up 1 earned run in 19 appearances.
Yeah, he does not have the doe eyes.
No, and
that's a big deal.
If he gets turned into a closer,
yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, last night the basketball game, once again, TJ McConnell.
My gosh,
was out of his mind. So Halliburton. Obviously, OKC, you kind of knew OKC was going to win, right? But to me, the story for Philadelphia, again, is TJ McConnell. Because TJ McConnell was out of his mind last night, carried them in the third quarter. When he was on the floor, I didn't see plus minus, but he had to be a huge plus. Halliburton, a huge minus. Halliburton was dinged up with his leg.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
there's people saying is that the worst finals performance of all time. 0 field goals, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls in
Well, he was
30
hurt.
minutes.
I mean,
Brick,
he's dragging
brick,
his
brick,
leg
brick,
around.
brick.
I mean, he's dragging his leg around. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to kill the kid. I mean, the kid has amazing moments during these playoffs.
Mhm.
I don't believe in that. But my only point is that while he was dragging his leg around, TJ was carrying him. We had 15 points in the third quarter.
He's such a pain in the ass.
He is. He had 15 points in the third quarter. And
like,
you know what's funny?
they're not-
That was their run. Now I get it. It's bench matchups. And, you're not going to sit Halliburton for TJ. However, there was a point last night where I was like, you know what? You got to get McConnell back in the game.
And the ball in his hands, because he's not putting up 15 points with like spot up open shots. He's creating his own shots. He's got the ball in his hand, working in the lane, misdirection.
I know.
He's so shifty.
I know. He's
Screaming. At one point, is he screaming, "You can't guard me," or
I mean,
"You gotta guard me"?
You gotta guard me. He said, "You gotta guard me. You gotta guard me." And they had to guard him. I mean, it's true. It was true. It was. I don't know. I've enjoyed these finals immensely.
They're better than I expected.
In the Paul George-less finals, because both teams traded Paul George.
Oh man, ESPN did a whole thing, like a 2-3 minute segment last week on how Paul George got both these teams to the finals.
I know. It's unbelievable how, like, when you think about it, let me get the guy that got both these teams to the finals by trading him.
Right. Yes, and collecting assets.
So let me go and trade for him.
Genius.
That's what,
Genius.
that's how ass backwards they are.
Genius.
Seriously. It's ridiculous. That's your boy, Sammy. Your boys, the Sixers. Sixers are number one for him.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Sammy Ben.
Oh, no wonder
Yeah.
he looks a little bummed out.
Sixers are his number one. You think kid plays baseball, great baseball player.
Right.
Beat the Phillies. It's the Sixers.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, Sixers are his number one.
You got a solid.
Joey's Phillies number one.
Sam's got a solid Coors Banquet hoodie on, though. That's old school. Coors Banquet. I like it.
No, I mean, I watched that game last night, and I can't help but think about that team, our team, and about what a mess it is. Like, we had Devon on yesterday. Poor Devon I think he was getting frustrated with me. Because I don't know what to say. I don't believe they can win it.
They're like in a win now mode.
Right. Like, you can't. What's the purpose of winning now if you can't win a championship?
So that's a fundamental philosophical difference. If they're in win now mode, you think all their moves are going to be completely wrong for the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're in win now mode,
yeah,
and I don't think you can win now, then what's the purpose?
You know who we saw who thought they were in win now mode for a decade? Ed Snyder.
Wow.
And we got a bunch of old aging veterans and never got anything.
Wow.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's a little bit later on. There was a great story about Bobby Clark told a great story about Brizgalov and how Ed Snyder, the only time he ever intervened was Brizgalov.
To bring him here?
Yeah, like nobody wanted to trade Bob.
Oh man.
Yeah. Or was it Bob? I guess it was Bob at the time. It's a long time ago, man. All right. We have a mystery guest?
Yeah, so today's going to be a fun one. Our whole morning is going to be mystery guests.
Who's this, the bro? The bro's putting together mystery guests?
The bro put together mystery guests to come on the show to talk to us.
Oh, man.
And we have our first mystery guest here right now. So please, let's see.
What's up, brother?
Good morning. Good morning.
Here he is.
Good morning.
The great Steve Morano.
All right. Well, we got that much of it figured out. What am I doing here?
I don't know. I didn't book you. By the way, you look handsome, buddy.
Thank you very much. Somebody showed me.
Handsome fella, isn't he?
Yeah, I think last time we saw him, he had a little longer hair.
Yeah, he got his hair cut. He was back in his hippie days.
Yeah.
Rang for a haircut. So I'm the mystery guest.
What's up, mystery guest? So I got a philosophical question for you.
All right, go ahead.
If a team says they're in win now mode, but can't win it all, why play?
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. So if a team says it's a win now situation and they're not winning now, yes.
And they can't win. Like, they can't win it all.
Yes. Well, it's easily answered. That is the in Zen Buddhist terms, that is the sound of one hand clapping. Well, which team are we talking about? The Titans?
No. Sixers.
They're winning them.
No, the Phillies can win.
Yeah,
Phillies,
they can win.
Listen, the Phillies can win it all.
Right. Well,
the Eagles are going to win it all again. But the Sixers, how could the Sixers be in win now mode? Because we had a whole argument when Joel Embiid can't make it through 2 weeks, let alone 2.5 months of a playoff run.
Yes, true enough. And I answer you once again, like my my spiritual guide once told me, Baba Louie. He said, no, seriously, and it applies to the Sixers. Life is like a beanstalk. That's it, man. This is Buddhism, man. Doesn't go beyond that, you know. Life is like a beanstalk. Anything else? I got a meeting to get to. Anything else? What?
No, you're good to go. How's the family?
Family's good. They're all in custody. Some mix up down at the the immigration. They'll straighten it out. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. You look great. Let me see your boy. How about a 2-shot here? Let me see your boy. I'll see your boy. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Good
What's
morning.
up, handsome?
I love that Ho Chi Minh deal.
Yeah. I'm working on my Zen Buddhist Confucius stuff.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that one. You know what? By the way, just this quick thing. I was trying to figure out how I feel about Marsh, Brandon Marsh's, thing. The hair and everything.
Yeah.
I'm a former hippie. I'm a full-time retired hippie. So you never judged anybody by the way they look. Certainly not by the length of their hair, right? And yet I sit there going, what the hell is he thinking about? Because it's not attractive. And he's a good-looking guy. Can somebody explain that to me? Come on.
He's going for
the
like a
ladies
Muppet
seem to like it.
The ladies love it.
He's very popular
What
in the
lady?
ballpark.
Excuse me a second. The ladies like it?
He's very popular.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's
It's not
popular
because of
because
his
he makes
play.
No, because he makes $30 million a year. What do you? You know what? If I made that kind of money, I could grow hair out of my ears and it wouldn't matter. I don't know. Listen, just last night it occurred to me that's a strange look, fashion-wise, and I'm just testing my own belief. I mean, apparently I'm wrong. I'm a hypocrite. If your hair's too long and stringy and looks like it's filled with bear grease, then you should stop doing it. It's simple enough.
The bizarre thing is, though, that he wets it before he plays.
Exactly.
He wets it every half hour.
Every half hour, right?
Yeah.
Well,
every half hour he wets it.
Trying to avoid that flyaway look. I don't know. That's silly enough. Listen, you get a mystery guest, you get mysterious responses. So the show's great. You guys are prospering. That's terrific.
Yeah, I got one thing. One serious thing. All right.
Yeah.
Before you go, I really want to ask you about this.
Okay.
What is this whole Eagles thing like for you? All right. Having lived through the idea that the Eagles were the ultimate embarrassment of a team, like they were every bit of what Philadelphia was. It was a shameful, downtrodden city, right?
Right.
And now they are the greatest. This Super Bowl run, they were the best team of this century, and they're probably going to repeat, or they're certainly going to be in the mix. They're that good. They're run so well. They draft well. What's it like seeing them from the paper bag days to now being the elite of the elites?
All right. I'll take less time to answer that than it took you to ask it. So anyway, here we go.
Well, it's called
First
stretch
of
and time
all,
because I know you have brevity in your brain.
soul of wit, my friend. Here we go. First of all, I begin with me and the Eagles at the top. I'm, a kid watching the championship game, 1960. That's it. I'm locked in, right? This period you talk about that follows, which has more downs, far more downs than up, was painful, but never embarrassing. I wasn't embarrassed by it. It was just painful, right? So this team comes along, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about this football team and what I saw in the last Super Bowl. You're going to think it's nuts because you and I have been around this a million times, and other people who know me think I'm crazy too. I've only seen one sporting or athletic event, one competition moment that I can absolutely believe was pure, perfect in its execution. And I don't mean that as a term of art. I mean it as a scientific fact, a perfect moment. And that was Secretariat's Belmont. If you're a horse guy, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It was absolutely perfect. So that's, up here. And I've seen lots of stuff that thrilled me. Nothing reaches that level. Except that football game. That football game may have been the best played football. It's certainly the best played football game end to end I've ever seen. Every single thing they wanted to do, they did. Every single thing they wanted to do, they did. They had utter command, great poise, and just demolished the opponent. So, it was worth waiting for. I got to tell you the truth. I would have waited a long time to see that football game. This is a great team. This is as you say, this is a century team. I hope young people understand what they're seeing.
How do you see this year? Are you?
No, you know what? I'll sum it up pretty quickly. I obviously, like a million other people, recorded the Super Bowl, so it's still on my television set. And I'm telling you, Anthony, when I'm bored, which is often, I click it on and watch a couple of series of plays, right? I've watched the whole game, and I've never done that in my life. And my wife the other day said to me, she caught me watching again. She said, come on with that. Well, are you still watching that game? I said, listen, it's got a shelf life. It really does. And the shelf life is the beginning of the new season. Once the season starts, that goes away. I'm taking it.
You know what's funny? I don't know. I think that may go down as The Godfather. Like anytime I got a hankering for it, I'm going to put it on.
Well, but the passes, you don't want to wallow in it too much. It's like, oh boy, wasn't that great? It'll always be great.
Right.
But in order for me to completely commit to this team going forward, and I can't wait, I got to put that behind me now. It's too precious and too perfect. Nothing will compare to it. Look, they're not going to do anything this year that tops that. We want them to win it all, but it will never top that moment. Never top.
I never thought the first Super Bowl could be top because it's the first, right? Your first is your first.
Yes. That had the virtue of history in the moment. It was the first, and you can only be the first once. The second one is a different category of special. It is damn near perfect as a football game, up to and including the moment when the head coach, for whom I had lost a lot of faith in, and settled for the fact that they, put baby in the corner and let everybody else run it. The game also included his defining moment, was when he says, "Call the damn play," and they throw the dagger. That's his moment. You can't script it. Here's a guy that there's still lingering doubts about, and then at that moment, he says, "Throw it, just throw it." To the offensive coordinator, no matter who's supposed to be in charge, the skip said, "Throw it," so they threw it. Even his moment is now wrapped in this specialness that makes the whole thing perfect. Listen, there's so many things I'll bore the hell out of you. When Smith makes that touchdown pass, or catches that ball and pops up, the minute he did it, I guess I was among a handful of people that noticed the coolest thing was that he flipped it to the referee with no showboating and anything. And if you look at the review, the ref has his hands like this, and he flips the ball right to his hands.
Wow.
It's so perfect. You just go, come on. What? I text my kid and I said, you know what the coolest thing of that was? He flipped the ball to the ref and just walked off the field. It was great. So anyway, that's a special. What's coming? We expect great things. We expect another championship. If it tops last year, call me. I don't believe it will, but call me if it does. Listen, I don't know what we're celebrating here by surprising you, except a dearth of real guests, but I'm glad to have stopped by.
You're the greatest. You never just want. He always gives you something to think about.
Of course.
And
He's the man of wisdom. The man of wisdom.
And laughing and laughter.
Today's question is, why did we call him? Anyway, always a pleasure to see you guys. Continued success with the show.
Stefano.
Take care, guys.
See you, buddy.
See you.
You're the great Steve Morano. Now, what's this mystery? Explain to me the mystery guest concept.
Yeah, so it's a whole thing. This week we are celebrating our Spirit Week here at PHLY.
That's cool.
We are pretty much what it's for is for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah,
and we
a
are
great partnership.
Correct. And you can donate right now. We're a part of the fundraiser right now. You can actually see it underneath on YouTube. You can donate to the proceeds. So all of the proceeds will go to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And it's just, we're having a fun week this week. So we're having mystery guests today. Tomorrow we have a 12-hour stream-a-thon. Thursday we're doing something with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Each day has its own little theme. Each day is going to be something unique and fun for everybody here and for everybody who listens or watches.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, the stream-a-thon's going to be fun.
Should be a good day tomorrow.
All of us hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I got one question. There's beers, right?
I think
I heard there's food lined up.
I think there's
Back,
beer,
you should
there's
tell,
food.
I know at Romano's wants to come in and drop Stromboli. You just tell them to drop it off tomorrow.
Perfect idea. I will, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they got a bunch of food. There must be some beverages lined up.
I want some beers. We're going to hang out.
Yeah,
like you
musical
mentioned.
chairs. Everybody, like you might be watching this show, but there might be people that you haven't seen on this show before. You might be watching the Sixers, but there might be different guests. It's going to be a crazy fun day tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be fun.
And donations are 100% to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Correct.
YouTube takes nothing. We take nothing.
No
Nobody
one's
takes
skimming from the
anything.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Vince says beer and food will be here.
Beer, Vinny. I love it. I love it.
Mystery guest theme might have been people in the chat under 40 don't know who Steve Morano is. That's the mystery.
That was the mystery.
Hello, Steve. Who's Steve Morano? Steve was a legend. He and I worked together in radio years and years ago.
Yeah, he was. You guys were good together. He's funny.
Yeah, we had a fun show together. Steve is like my wisdom man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
he's an elder.
Yes.
He's an elder. Good guy.
Mhm.
Great guy.
Great guy.
People don't remember him, but a great dude. And he always looked at life differently.
Mhm.
Like he was like, and the reason why so Tom Bigby was the program director at the time. And he paired him with me because I was young and it worked with Steve Fredericks and Mike.
Right.
And so we had the same success.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It was like the older dude with the other wisdom guy with the young, sports head.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just a sports head. I knew nothing about life. I just wanted to go watch games and party.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Fredericks was so good.
He was great.
Yeah.
And Steve was just like that, intellectual. Yeah. The two of them very similar. Radio guys, both had their perfect voices.
Yes.
It was different. All right. Let's take care of some of our business. Let's talk about Parks Casino, the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Perfect timing, Baldini. How about that?
I know.
Perfect
it's like
timing.
he knew.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Philadelphia has won 5 straight games. All right. You can live bet Fightins baseball tonight. Second game, Lizardo against his old team. The Lizard. I like the Lizard tonight in a big way. You like the Lizard, Joey? You love the Lizards, right? You
am the Lizard King. I can do anything.
You have everything. You live bet the game. You can bet the fight to score run in the first inning. 25 pays 48.75. All right, almost perfect right there. There's always another way to win on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Check out brand new casino games like Huff and Puff. You know this Huff and Puff?
I played Huff and Puff.
You're a Puff guy.
He's huffing and puffing every
So
day.
he's a Puff guy all the time.
That's not new for him.
Fire Blaze Sky Queen. I don't know that one. That's another interesting one. Play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, Cleopatra, also Walking Dead, Squid Game slots, you name it.
Goonies.
New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com, download the app right now. Enjoy all the action excitement from the casino at your fingertips. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. Bet Parks. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, now let's talk about Cherry Hill Mitsubishi, a Folk Auto Group dealership. Charlie Folk.
Charlie Folk. QB, future Hall of Famer.
That's Charlie Folk. I think he's the third or the fourth.
Was he?
Yeah. I think it goes back. I'm hoping someday
Great kid.
that there'll be Charlie's the best.
Yeah,
kid.
great kid.
Great father. Father's awesome, dude. You're looking for the most affordable 7-passenger SUV in America. CherryHillMitsubishi.com has you covered. All right. It's called the Mitsubishi Outlander.
I
You know the Outlander?
Nice car. Good looking SUV.
It's budget friendly. It's gas sipping. All right. It's all about Mitsubishis.
Sounds cool. I got an Outlander.
Yeah, Outlander sounds good. Mitsubishi Motors, #1 in customer satisfaction with dealer services among mainstream brands and SUV owners. And that's not me saying it. That's J.D. Power. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business. 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain. 5 years, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper. Why settle for a lesser warranty and be on the hook for costly repairs down the road? Why do it?
Why?
Come on, seriously. Stop in today. Tell them PHLY sent you, Cut sent you. You'll get a $100 restaurant.com gift card. It's going to feed you. Also gives you the Cuz discount.
Love a Cuz discount.
Listen, Cuz discount works.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Trust me. All right? Seriously. Drive home your new Mitsubishi today. Just minutes from all bridges are available online 24/7. CherryHillMitsubishi.com. Now, I know people buy Mitsubishis elsewhere. I just don't know why.
Mm-mm.
No, not at all. All right. What do we got? La Brain.
Yep.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
What do you say, Brain?
Oh,
And I was huffing and puffing too last night, Anthony, after that game. I had a very big live bet on the Thunder -12.
You got screwed.
Covering almost the entire way.
People loading
Covering the
Brain's
entire way.
luggage in the back.
Were you?
Yeah, well, we're doing it. Yeah, well, I need the affordable car now too from Mitsubishi, because of that game last night. That was a bad one for me.
He's on the lam.
Man, I am telling you, that one really upset me because they were covering almost the entire freaking way. But in terms of live bet, they actually covered the game. But
Oh my God! Like
anyway.
they should have. They should
Felt
have.
like a 20-point game. It just I give Indiana credit. They hung around again.
But even at the end, you're right. Even at the end, I'm surprised it was even that much of a sweat at the end. What did SGA?
They
miss,
didn't score in the last 3 minutes.
SGA missed like
5
3 or
shots in a
4
row at the end, yeah.
shots.
Yeah. Oh, look, it happens. So anyway, but well, hey, Miles Turner didn't get his 14 or 15 points at least in that one, but still, look, credit to Indiana for fighting through it. And look, when it got to 95-93 very briefly, then it went right back up to 10, like seemingly like a minute later. That was pretty crazy that they cut it all the way down to 2.
So that was because of TJ, man. Amazing.
He's the guy. He's unbelievable. He's been their best player in the series.
He
I don't know, it's
has.
even an exaggeration.
I
actually think
he's been
pound for pound,
unbelievable.
He really
It was
has.
unreal.
Really was.
Where you headed?
Boston.
Oh, nice.
Boston.
You see your daughter? Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna see my daughter, so we're looking forward to the trip. Yeah, hopefully a nice trip there. We may go to Cape Cod and what's the other one called? Nantucket.
Martha's
You ever been there?
Vineyard?
Yeah, we may do some of that. So I haven't been for like 40 years. I don't remember it. So hopefully it'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I have you ever been to up there?
I've been to Cape Cod.
You like it?
I like Provincetown. That was good.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I went
I'm
to
more
that
of
when
a
I was a
city
kid.
guy, so a city by the beach, I'm always
Yeah.
okay with that. Yeah.
Wait, VG, I need to know, how'd you do in the soccer last night?
Horrible. I had a horrible day yesterday.
What happened?
0-4
Oh, no.
across the board. Nope.
Oh,
I had Chelsea over 2.5. They scored 2.
Because Chelsea won. I thought you had Chelsea.
Nah, I took over 2.5 goals.
Oh, wow.
man.
How about this for a bad beat? Our buddy
Let me hear.
Tooch took, what was that team called?
Oh man, what were they?
No,
No, I had
the other
Flamenco.
team.
Oh, it was the
Boca Friends.
Boca Brothers or
Boca
Boca
something. Anyway.
Boca Raton.
He goes, take Boca. They're a dog, right? Plus 475.
Boca Juniors.
Wow.
Boca Juniors.
Boca Juniors. They're plus 475. They're winning
Wow.
2-0.
2-0.
Wow.
Right. And
Good catch.
What's
they
that,
get a red
2-2?
card. They get a red card, and they want to draw 2-2.
That's absolutely horrific.
That's a bad beat.
That's the way, yeah, I
And
can't
Tooch had
complain
Boca
after him.
Juniors plus 475. Are you kidding me?
That's horrible. The red card just does you in. That's the only way you probably can lose, right?
Yeah.
You know,
You get a
something
red card,
unforeseen like that
you're up
happens.
2-0.
That's a tough one.
Halftime, you're up 2-0.
Yeah, down a man.
That's horrible.
That's crazy.
Horrible.
Anyway, how'd you do, Brain?
1 and 2. Look, I faded Logan Gilbert. I took, he pitched well, but man, the Mariners just couldn't score off Giolito, who's been horrible all year. And then Pepe out pitched amazing, but Zach Eflin just didn't have it last night. He got absolutely bombed. So we did win Miles Turner. Wish we gave it out as a double play, but we just split it up. But he 1 and 2. We're 90, I think 96 and 82 now.
All right, 96 and 82.
I'm 53 and 50.
All right, boys. Let's
Well,
see
that's-
how
today's a new
Tuesday
day, VG.
fares. How
Absolutely.
many you got?
I got 3.
That's it.
It was hard, man. I got to tell you.
You only got 3.
And it was actually hard for me to even get those 3. Yeah, I didn't like the
With
card.
a full slate of baseball, the break.
Trust me, I didn't love it. I'm not going to force anything.
What about the hockey?
I mean, listen, again, the only way I can look, I mean, I'm not going to lay $1.50, but I can't, at first I really thought these games were kind of quote unquote 50-50, but I can't say that now. I just can't say that right now. I think Florida probably does win this game 3 out of 5 times. So for me, it's a pass, but lean Florida. If I had to play it, it would only be Florida.
Yeah,
I just can't trust Edmonton.
I can't see Edmonton. I mean, they're going to have to play great. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and the way, MVP to me is Marchand, right?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, I think so. I totally agree. Again, I think I like, when you said Bush, said Dale Hunter. I mean, I remember Dale Hunter. He was such a annoyingly good player. And that's the way Marchand, he's just annoyingly good. And he just, he's one of those guys you wish he was on your team.
Yeah. Dude, he's a man. He's gonna have another big game tonight.
Here's a question. If you were the Flyers, would you, I mean, he's not going to sign there, obviously, but if you were the Flyers, would you make an effort to get like a gritty veteran like that, saying, listen, we haven't made the playoffs since 1902? Okay.
The next, so they're going to be contenders in 2 years, right? Like, so you have this season coming up, and then the following off season is when they're going to hit free agency. And that's the target, right? And that year, I would bring in a Marchand type.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then it'll be 38. I don't know. But I hear you. I hear you. That kind of player. Yeah, that kind of player. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, because he's just, man, he's really meant. I'll be honest. If they didn't have him, I don't think they'd be here right now. I really don't.
The 2 guys that have been instrumental have been Marchand and Bennett. And
well, Bennett's great. Bennett's Bennett's been one of their best guys.
Funny?
Bennett's great. Yeah.
Bush and I were texting about it. He goes, "You watch. Some team's going to open up the vault for Bennett, and he's not going to score a lot in the regular season. Like he's going to get those slow start, and fans are going to get on his ass, and it's going to be one of those deals. But he's just a money playoff player."
Yeah. Well, listen, at the end of the day, again, that's when you want to be, you want your best players to shine in the postseason, right? Because that's what it really kind of comes down to if you think about it. I mean, the regular season, yeah, it's great, but if you don't get it done in the playoffs, I mean, it's like no one remembers the regular season. It's all what you do in the big spots and the big games. But I'm going to start off, Anthony. Listen, I want to start off with our Parks combo with play of the day. Man, we couldn't quite get there last night. We couldn't get quite enough runs scored. We hit the Phillies part, but couldn't quite get the over part. But I'm gonna repeat it. I'm gonna go again with the Phillies, and I'm gonna take the over again because I think the Phillies can score off Quantrill. Lizardo obviously pitched great his last game, but the 2 games before that wasn't as great. I think the Marlins can maybe get 2 or 3 off him. I think the Phillies could score 6 off Quantrill. Going Phillies and over plus 155. Parks combo play of the day.
I like it.
I'm starting off with the A's. A's are even money, plus 100 versus the Astros. Looks like a thin line, so I'll grab it.
Who's pitching?
Who's pitching for who?
Both teams, right?
The A's has George Costanza, Jason Alexander. And the A's have JP Spears, and Houston's got Jason Alexander.
Okay.
I'm going to make my first official play. I'm going to go, guys, with this is my favorite play of the day. I like the Yankees with the run line, playing a 1.5. Listen, to me, Kyle Hendricks probably be the number 1 starter I'd want to go against in the entire American League. Absolutely gives up the most hits per inning, has more or less the highest ERA. Yankees should be able to score 6-7 runs off this guy. Will Warren's been solid, been good. I see this game, 9-4, 9-3. Give me the Yankees with the run line.
Yankee run line. That's interesting.
You have to get healthy after losing 3 in a row to Boston. They lost 1-0 yesterday as well.
Well, their bats are dead. Their bats.
Well, they have been. This is a good revitalizer.
Yeah, I agree. Get well. It's a get well game.
I'm going Phil's run line minus 113. Phillies minus a run and a half.
Phil's run line. All right, Brain.
I'm going to go again under White Sox. Cardinals 5-inning line. We have Shane Smith, who's been terrific all season. Liberatore struggled recently, but he's pitched pretty well overall. But I don't fear the White Sox lineup even a little bit. I think this would be a very low-scoring game through 5 innings because I trust Smith a lot. White Sox obviously don't have a good bullpen, but I say this game is going to be 1-1 or so after 5. Give me under 4.5 runs. White Sox, Cardinals.
All right.
I'm keeping it simple to try and get on the winning side. I'm going Tigers run line plus 112 against Pittsburgh.
You never argue that.
Bailey Falters on the mound for the Buccos. Casey Mize having a good year for the Tigers.
I hate that Bailey Falter because
I agree with that, Beck.
He's one of those sneaky slot. Every once in a while, he'll shut the team down with his slop.
If you look at just his stats, he's like, he's having a really nice year, but he stinks.
He stinks.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Last play of the day for me, guys. We're going to go under 4.5 runs. Schwellenbach of the Braves has been very good all year against David Peterson. Has probably been as consistent as any pitcher all year. Both these guys pitch very, very well. I'll take under 4.5 runs with 2 pitchers seemingly at the top of their game right now. Under 4.5 runs, Mets Braves, 5-inning line.
All right. I like it.
I got to stick with the World Cup Club.
There we go. I was waiting for one of these.
Yeah, we're
I was waiting for it, man.
Parlay today. We'll go Inter Milan and Dortmund. Both to win in regulation. Parlay together pays 154.
Good.
Nice.
Good choice. Solid.
I like that. You like that? You
That's a solid one. Yep. That's a winner.
Now, we had a game last night in Philadelphia or the Brazil.
Yeah.
Flamenco
against S. Tunis. Flamenco won 2-0.
Yeah.
And
everybody was freaking out.
You should have seen the crowds everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, from the art museum down to the water, the Liberty Point.
Dude, I got to tell you, it was awesome. All the Brazilians.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. This is just a small sampling of what's going to be like.
Yeah, we got video of it to show.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Crazy.
I'm down with that.
VG, do you want to go for the Grand Slam? Parlay those two with the Tigers run line, Phillies run line, pay about 10-1.
Oh, all right, yeah.
10-1, man. Yeah. That could pay for a lot of bills.
Parlay the Tigers run line with the Phillies run line with these two
10-1
Sockers.
That'll pay about 10-1.
Let's see.
Doing
Tigers
quick math
run
in my head.
Phillies run line.
Maybe 9-1.
Do it. The Braves.
It's plus 884. Yeah.
Okay, I said yeah.
What's wrong with that? 9-1.
All right.
Yeah. 9-1.
I'll hop on that.
that'll pay for the lights, so to speak. One like that, I like it.
I like it.
That's good. That's good. Good stuff, brother. Brain,
Appreciate you guys.
Have a safe trip.
Appreciate you both, you guys. Be good.
Love you,
Brain.
buddy. See you, Brain. All right, so we got here's your World Cup today. Dortmund's at noon. You got an early start.
Ooh, I love that.
You like a noon start?
I love a noon start.
All right. Dortmund, I don't even know who this team is. Fluminense.
Right.
I want to say.
That's why you got to take Dortmund in
that they
regulation.
are from Syria. Yes.
They're Paisan.
Yep.
Fluminense?
Yeah.
I never even heard of
They're
these.
mid-table. They're
Fluminense?
mid-table team. They're sixth. They finished sixth.
Fluminense?
Yeah.
No.
Fluminense.
Are they Syria?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Syria.
No, they're not. No, they're Spanish. No,
Oh, it's
or
a Syria
Portuguese.
in Brazil. There's another Syria.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're not in Italy. I know the Italy. I bet you I can name almost every team in Syria.
Ooh,
I got tricked.
I like this.
I like that too.
How many teams in Syria are there?
There's got to be 20, right?
I should be able to name 15. Think I can do it?
I don't. Yes.
Yeah.
We doing
I'm
just
pulling them
the
up.
A-League?
I'm
The
going to
A-League?
pull it
No,
up
just
and I'll
the
go
A-League.
with you.
It's just the A-League.
All right, yeah,
And
I
then-
got them here.
And then here you go. 3 o'clock, River Plate. Where's River Plate? Explain, it's
That's a great
come on,
question.
You're a translator.
I don't know
You're the
these
soccer
teams.
guy. You're
I don't know
Googling
these
this?
teams.
It's the
Come
World
on.
Cup Club. Where's Sammy
This
at?
is fascinating.
Where's Sammy from the UK at?
Argentina.
All right, River
Yeah.
Plate.
River Plate, Argentina.
Urawa?
Where's your Orawa?
Okay, great question.
This is wild.
Yeah, they're from all over the world. They are from.
Like, they can't be good, right? Orawa?
I
They're
think
in the World Cup
I think they're
club.
Japanese.
Really?
Ooh, that'd be nice. I
Yeah.
like
The Reds.
Yeah.
They're called the Reds.
They're from the greater Tokyo area.
Really?
Yeah.
The Orawa Reds.
I'm in on
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tokyo?
Yes.
How about this team? Because they play at 6 o'clock. Ulsan, ULSAN versus the M Sundowns. I don't know what they are.
The Mamelodi?
They're in the K League 1, so that is in South Korea.
That's
Ulsan is
what about
South
the
Korean.
Sundowns?
And the Sundowns are from PSL, so they are from South Africa.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
That's wild. All right. And then the nightcap, Monterrey versus Inter Milan.
Monterrey is from
Mexico.
Yeah, Liga.
I mean, that I know.
Yeah.
That's an easy. That one I can get. I can get that one.
All right, I got the Serie A teams here. Serie A teams.
Yeah.
You want to name them?
All right. Might as well be my
1,
big
2, 3,
mouth.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
It's
10,
20.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21. We
Give-
set my
I'll give
over under
14
at
and a half.
14 and a half.
Yes.
All right. Napoli.
Yes.
Dang.
Milan. There's 2 Milan. AC Milan
You got both.
and Inter Milan.
Mhm.
Right. There's Palermo.
Is there?
Like, well, they were.
They're not in the Serie A currently.
Oh, they got booted.
Yeah, they got booted.
Did Palermo got booted? All right. This is gonna be harder than I thought. All right. There's the Roma. Hey,
Yeah, you got Roma.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
There are 2 Rome. There's another Rome. Oh man. There is a. I got to think about this for a second.
Think of the big ones.
Veneto.
Close.
You're close.
Venezia.
Yeah, yeah.
Venezia,
Venezia.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Then that's it. No, I was right about that. I mean, of course, I'm going to get that. All right.
Futz says if you name different pastas, you get at least 8 of them.
That is kind of true.
Hold on. There's a team. Who's my team in Puglia? There's a team in Puglia I like. Starts with an L. Oh my
There are
God.
2 teams that begin with L.
There-
and
yep.
One is from the Puglia region.
Yeah. Well, all right. I should at least get that. There's Udinese.
Lecce.
Lecce. Yep.
Lecce is a
Lecce,
Puglia.
yep.
Udinese.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep, you got that.
All right. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my! I need 7 more.
You're missing some of the big ones.
I know. I got to think about it. I got to. You know what it is in my internal clock. I want to just sit and think for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
But we're doing a show, and I'm the host,
yeah.
so it's hard for me to buy
You're
time.
missing Italy's oldest
And-
football
and-
club.
look, I get cause I'll get it. All right. There's Calabria,
No.
Reggio.
No.
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 All right, hold on. I get 3 strikes. That's
Are
1
you
strike.
even Italian?
You've been waiting forever to say that. You've been waiting forever to say that. There's Florence, Firenze.
You're
Firenze.
close. Yep.
Yeah. Firenze.
Fiorentino.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Florence.
It is Florence.
It's close.
All right.
It's Florence, cuz.
All right.
There's another Tuscany squad. There's a couple of the northern regions. Isn't there Perugia?
Nope. There's a nice chicken club.
Chicken.
Chicken club.
Chicken club. All right. Let's take
Parma.
Parma, yeah. How's that chicken club?
Chicken Parmesan, man.
Oh,
Come
get
on.
the frig out of
Yeah,
here.
the Parma.
All right, let's go. We got to take care of some business. All right. That was a pretty bad. Oh, dude, we got a new
Prego ragu. Peeling onions right off jar sauce steams.
There's a new, oh my God, a new Parks Casino read.
Oh.
Got some new bands.
Here we
I
go.
I might not have all the lyrics ready for this.
How about that? New read. Thanks, our man Baldini. You ready?
I'm
No, I
ready.
don't know,
Let's do
man.
it.
All right. So, gang, on the Anthony Gargano show, this is what's written. We love our music. Excited to tell you who will be rocking the Excite Center at Parks Casino, our casino of choice, located right here in the Philadelphia suburbs, so close to Jersey, everywhere, less than 2 hours from New York, less than an hour from Delaware. Here we go. Thursday, July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Here come old flat top. He come grooving up slowly.
That's good. All right. Saturday, December 6th, UB40.
Red wine.
How about Saturday, September 20th, Australian Pink Floyd show. Wish You Were Here, 50th anniversary.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell?
Friday, September 26th, The Revivalists. Roots rock with a modern twist, and the tour is called All the Family, 10 Years of Men Amongst the Mountains.
Wow. I have no idea.
I've heard
I'm
of the
gonna have
band.
to do some research on
Are
that.
you ready?
They're a good band. I just don't know any songs off the top of my head.
All
The
right.
band's called The Revivalists?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I got to get on that.
All right. Saturday, October 4th, Kansas.
Carry on your wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
How about October 10th, the Psychedelic Furs?
Oh,
man.
What are they? If you leave, I got to look them up real quick. I got all my new wave, those.
Great band, though. Great
those-
band.
Yes. I'm all about
Guess
stuff.
Gary Newman.
Oh, here in my car. Yeah, man. Oh, Gary Newman in cars. In cars.
Friday, October 24th, Everclear.
Oh, I'm going to have to refresh my
What is
brain.
this song?
Sparkle and Fade, 30th anniversary tour.
Hold on, man. I got Everclear. These are going to have some good ones.
Yeah, what's their
they got
famous song?
Father of Mine. They got Santa
Tell me, where
Monica.
have you been?
Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday, October 25th, Almost Queen, a tribute to Queen.
Ooh. And you just go, we.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
No
escape
How about
from
your boy over there?
reality.
Listen to he's a show tune fella. You know what I'm saying, Sam?
That's a great song.
Psychedelic first. I
No,
mean,
but the way you did it was like a
he
show
had that
tune.
ready to go. I was going to go,
Yeah.
we will rock you, but he went right to that.
Yeah.
Psychedelic first.
It's a
Are,
fine
she's pretty in pink,
All right.
isn't she?
All right. Saturday, November 15th, Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers.
Go Mary.
Tickets, parkscasino.com. Got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
That was a good live. That was a good list of bands.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
like
tell us
that
about
one.
a little TruMark
I'd love to
action?
tell you a little bit about TruMark. Because summer's here, which means the kids, they're out and about. They're hanging with friends, maybe picking up a summer job, doing some extra chores with the free time. So now's the perfect time to set them up with something that teaches them real-world money skills and gives them a little bit of freedom. The Greenlight Debit Card and Money app. It's a great program over at TruMark. And if you're a TruMark Financial member, you get a free Greenlight account for your kids or teens. It's totally free, and it's a simple way for them to manage their own money, whether it's from a job, whether it's from a lounge, whether it's birthday cash, graduation money. They'll get their own debit card. They can set savings goals, track spending, and learn how to budget, all while you stay in the loop from your phone. You're still in control, but they get to learn how real money works in everyday life. So before the summer rush kicks in, this is a great way to help your kids build some smart money habits that will stick with them long after the season's over. So head over to TruMark.com/greenlight and get all the details and sign up today. And don't miss this chance to set your kids up for some financial success. TruMark.com/greenlight for this cool program.
All right, my man. Good stuff.
All right, so our second.
Uncle Frank says, VG, what did you do with the money your parents gave you for singing lessons?
Oh, Uncle Frank.
Man. Last time I heard that, I was sitting on my dinosaur, Uncle Frank.
We're still waiting for our second special guest. They should be here any minute.
Okay. All right. Well, also coming up, we're going to have Baldy. Always looking forward.
I got to talk to Baldy about a couple things.
Like
He's
what?
up to some stuff that I need in on.
Some health stuff.
Yes. How to recuperate from partying quickly.
Oh, yeah, he does. Well, you're going to find out about that on Friday.
Yeah?
I think Friday, where we go to the, I think we're going to go to our friends over at the
Forever Young?
Health Forever Young.
So you're saying I can tie load on Thursday,
Yes.
feel like crap on Friday,
And
they'll help me feel.
immediately
Ah,
IV you back to
challenge
normal.
Yeah.
accepted.
A show with an IV bag in? I'm ready.
Are you going to do it?
I would do it. I would definitely
I
do
gotta
it.
see what's happening around town Thursday night. There's got to be a party going on somewhere.
But how about our boy, Daisuke Dom? When does VG do Queens Under Pressure?
Oh, we can work that in tomorrow.
Wow, you're getting requests.
I like it.
go.
Yeah,
That's
all
a
right.
good song, too.
We'll work it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Tasty cake.
Look at that. You guys are getting requests. Cosettes
I mean-
are getting requests.
We might have to start asking for some donations to Big Brother, Big Sister for song requests.
That'd be great.
Tasty Cake Dom's always free. Any other future ones, we might need like a couple bucks to Big Brother, Big Sisters in the chat.
So while we're waiting, we were talking about Club World Cup and the fans coming here. I actually have a video from Liberty Point of the flamenco fans partying down there before the game at the link.
Pyros.
We did a bonfire.
And I am so eager for when this happens next summer. Is there a rhyme or reason to the whistles? To me, I don't hear
I have
it,
no
but it's
idea.
Like someone just going off, blowing a whistle. every
Dude,
now
not
and
for
then.
nothing.
The
But
flare, though, is a big thing.
Yeah. They also took over Reading Terminal. There was a big crowd gathering and chanting with Reading Terminal yesterday. Probably walked right down Broad Street.
Yeah, here's one of them at the Rocky Steps.
wow.
Yeah. This is going to be insane next summer.
Oh, dude, not for nothing. We got a great. Our Club World Cup matches are awesome.
Oh, yeah, we got some of the
Did you
best
see
ones.
this? So the next one is what? Tomorrow.
Yes.
Man City against Wydad. Which Wydad?
I don't know.
Man City. Then our squad, I guess, is Flamenco.
They're here again?
Yeah. Against Chelsea.
Ooh.
That's pretty nasty.
That's a good one.
Right?
Morocco, by the way. Why, Dad?
Wydad's Morocco?
Yep.
And then Juventus. Speaking of Serie A, Juventus versus Wydad.
Yep.
Wydad.
Wydad. And then you got June 25th, Esperance Sportive de Tunis.
Well, and they're Chelsea.
Against
Chelsea's got
Chelsea.
2 games here.
Chelsea's here a lot.
Yeah. And then finally, June 27th, FC Salzburg
Yep.
versus
Bundesliga.
Real Madrid.
That's the game I'm going to. Yeah.
So Germany against Spain.
Against Spain. Yeah.
And then we got some knockout rounds after that, right?
Yeah, we get knockout rounds June 28th, and we get a quarterfinal on July 5th.
Nice.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we got like a month and a half of like Club World Cup. Every day games.
It really is. You know what's funny? I remember they were talking about it. I completely misunderstood it.
Mm.
When we have like Thursdays, we do our World Cup preview. I misunderstood. I didn't know about like these are individual teams. I thought that they were like under 18 type of thing.
Yeah, no, it's the full squads.
Yeah, no, it's like that Chelsea team's good.
Yeah. Yeah, they have Cole Palmer, who's really
Well,
good.
they got the new kid. I watched him yesterday. They have Liam. What's his name? They just got him. He's a young. He was like their big free agent signing. And he came in.
Delap?
Delap.
Yeah, he's from Ipswich Town.
He
That's where
came in.
started.
He came in the second half and like was all over the field.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah, they have a
interesting.
good squad. They're building up something there in Chelsea. I mean, they have been one of the premier teams in Premier League for a while. So
I love the idea that we have all this international flavor.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go down party with them.
I mean,
The Brazilians.
I needed a day off yesterday.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'll be wandering around this week looking for some, especially Thursday night. Peeling onions in the chat. He's gone down to the Man City game.
Is he?
Yeah,
that's a big game.
Yeah, take some pictures of that. Send it
Erling
into us.
Haaland. Yeah,
We
please.
have tickets to give away. I got to figure out how we're getting them the tickets. I want to give away tickets to the chat.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do we have them physically? Do we just take names and send them over?
We'll find out. I'll find out because
We'll come up with a system.
Our World Cup Thursdays. We'll find out. But I know we have a couple pair to give away.
Maybe we'll do a live drawing on the show. Well, if you want in on the
Actually,
tickets,
no, we should do this
email
tomorrow.
me.
We should do tomorrow for the big day.
Oh, we could definitely do it
with
tomorrow.
the whole crew.
Yeah.
Give away the tickets.
Streamathon?
I'll find out. I think we just give the winner's name, but I'll find out from Meg, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, there are MLS teams in this, right?
Yes,
Correct. Every league
Will
around
they
the
win-
world.
Will they win any games, the MLS? How do they compete against
So they lost
I would
yesterday.
say
LA
so.
Played Chelsea
Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah.
Lost 2-0.
and
So it's Seattle, Miami, and LAFC are the three teams
They're the
from
three-
the
so
MLS that are in.
Is the Union not in it because they
No.
were bad last year?
So the qualifiers
they're in
happened a
first place
couple
this year,
years.
right?
So you had to win. I think it was Leagues Cup winners. The winner of MLS a few years ago got in, and then LAFC. I don't remember exactly how they got in. I think there was they won something. And
they
got
I
in.
watched that game. They actually played them tough.
Olivier Giroud, they have him on the team. I mean, he was great back in the day. You know, he's older now, but he's still good.
He's 37.
Yeah, and then Messi. I mean, obviously on Inter Miami. I mean, he's Messi, and they have Luis Suarez as well, who's also was
really?
a top player for
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Jordi Alba.
Like I watched the game yesterday, and they actually, I thought Chelsea's going to roll, and they had their chances.
Yeah, some of these smaller clubs, they're going to fight, because this is such a big deal for them. They're on a big stage. This
pretty
is like
cool.
recognition time. So they're passionate players, and they're gonna try to play these guys really tough.
Any Eagles? I'm sure. I wonder if any Eagles went down.
Oh, I'm
Are
sure.
going to go down.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. You think Joel would be at some of these games? He's a big soccer
Joel's
guy.
been MIA, man.
Dude, he's like in a witness protection program somewhere.
I get the sense that Embiid just wants out.
I would not be surprised at that at all.
Like, I just
He
feel
had
like
enough.
he's done.
Like
Like, he's at a can't win. Like, his body's breaking down. And then the team did not win. And so you have all that together.
Yeah, you got the feeling. He mentioned how tough it was with him last year, and I hope that's not the case. Like, I would like to see him come back and give it a shot.
My guess is he's done. He wants out.
It does.
Like,
feel
my
that.
guess
Do you
is
think
he's-
out of the NBA or out of Philadelphia?
he wants out of Philadelphia.
Yes,
I think he wants.
I believe
I
that
think
too.
he's done.
Yeah,
I think he's had enough. Like, he's done.
It sucks to see the Embiid saga end this way. If it does end this way with the injury and just how it's been playing out, it does suck. It would be nice to actually see him at least 1 year. Maybe they get it together and figure something out, and they make a run next year. But
Again,
it's just so
it goes
unlikely.
back to what we talked about, which is how do you believe that they're in a win now mode if they can't win now? Like, if you can't believe that Embiid can go 2.5 months with this schedule, and you see the first 2 rounds, you're pretty active.
Yeah.
Finals, you get some breathing room, but you're pretty. Can he last for 2.5 months?
4 years ago he couldn't last, so it's probably a hard no.
And
you hate to see it play out this way, but this is the way it played out when they drafted him. And you had the people saying you're a big guy with injuries, going to be hard to have a career, and this is what we've gotten with him. Big guy with a lot of injuries.
I know. You sad, Sammy? That's your.
Sammy, as a big Sixers fan, would you rather them keep doing the win now or just start a rebuild? All right, so Sammy thinks it's a losing situation either way.
No, and it's right, which is why I trade up to get Harper and build around Harper and Maxey. I know it's a backcourt.
You wouldn't trade back to get some of your assets?
No. I like Knipple. I do. But Knipple by himself doesn't do anything for me. Or like, I need.
How about the big guy out of Duke?
No. I'm not in love with him. He's a project.
Yeah, so are the Sixers.
No. Listen, you got to start with real players. That's a shame. All right, what are we doing? We're going to have Baldy or what's the deal?
Yeah, Baldy is here. If our special guest joins, we'll just bring him up with you and Baldy. I think you guys would like that.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Baldy probably. I got to say it. I mean, I know who it is now, so I got to say it.
Yeah,
I guessed it.
you did guess it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to tell Baldy because I'm sure Baldy knows Jeremy Roenick.
Yes.
All right, the great JR. All right, let's get Baldy up here, especially now. Baldy's Mr. Hockey.
Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Ay, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football.
Oh, Baldy! There he is. What's
Morning,
up,
guys.
superstar?
PG, what's up, guys?
What's up, Baldy?
You hooking up with your boys tonight?
Uh,
Last night, did you go? The guys were looking to go.
I
out
did
last
not. I
night.
did not go out last night. Watch the basketball game. They are in town, down the road here.
I tried to get him a
undecided
reservation.
if I'm going to go to Game 6 yet.
I tried to get him a reservation. Both places are closed.
What places are closed?
Cafe Morano and Runway 84.
Runway 84. Yeah, Runway 84.
I texted the owner's a buddy of mine. He used to.
Stevie Materano.
Well, that's Cafe Morano. But Runway 84, you know why
Joe.
he's a friend of mine?
Who?
His name's Anthony Bruno.
Oh, from the pizzas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Anthony was Anthony's coal-fired pizza that I used to endorse.
Yeah.
Anthony and Dan Marino were partners.
Yes.
And they made a mint. They made a fortune.
Let me tell you, that Runway 84, it's as good a bar restaurant as you're going to go to. The entertainment, you feel like you're Frank Sinatra sitting at a New York City like dinner show in 1960.
Really?
The place is unreal.
Get out. But it's close.
In fact, the last time I was there, Marino was there. It was his birthday. No, it wasn't his birthday. It was his left tackle's birthday from Pitt. Can't think of his name. Jumbo Cover. It was Jumbo Cover's birthday. So those two guys are tight. So Jumbo was there, Marino. It was like last time I was there, they were all there.
I think Dan's a partner in that. Like, because Anthony opened, that was his first place.
It wouldn't be surprised. I know the guy. I know the guy that if you need a table, you got to get in. I know the guy you got to call. So
well, the owner's a buddy of mine from I used to endorse. His name's Anthony, and so we used to endorse Anthony's coal-fired pizza. You remember that, Baldy, back in the day?
Yeah, of course, I remember it, but I haven't met Anthony, so it's good that you told me that. Reminded me. Next time I'm there, which probably won't be too long from now.
Yeah.
But next time I'm there, I will definitely look out for him.
Yeah. You should. It's good hookup for you. What's it called? Boosh is like, where are we going to eat? I'm like, everything's closed, bro.
Well, I mean, the hotel they're in, I mean, they've got a nice steakhouse, steak night. They've got a great sushi place right next door in the Conrad Hilton. I mean, there's 5 great places within a 5-minute walk from where he's at.
You should have went and hung out with him again. You and Wayne. That's your
I mean, look, I don't want to they got their group and everything. I had my night, I had my time. Yeah. It was great last week. I don't know that I need to.
See, you know what's funny? You're a man that understands like social behavior. Like you're a guy. No, but seriously, you're like, listen, we had a great night. That's that. Like, I don't need to be in on everything. I got my own thing now.
It's the less is more. You got to keep them wanting more.
Right.
It is. And look, the seats I got on Thursday night were out. I mean, I'm 9 rows up on the red line, right behind the penalty box. I mean, it was outrageous, so I was more than taken care of. It was great.
That's awesome.
Well, let me talk to you as a man who likes to enjoy a cocktail or a beer or 3 or 4. I saw you get an IV replenishment treatment. Tell me all about this. I've been intrigued by this. Does it work? Do you recommend it?
Unbelievable. I got invited. A buddy of mine is in the stem cell industry, which is blossoming. So you've got stem cells, then you have exosomes. So I'm here. I'm at the Stringali Institute up in West Palm Beach. The one woman is sort of like, she sells the stem cells all over the country. And then the other woman is a former cardiologist. She's the nurse on staff. But anyways, you take these exosomes, you can either put them in an IV and you can, IV them into your system, or you can do it through a mask and you can inhale them. They did both. Then they injected UBC 157, which is a peptide. Like, honestly, so I went on Friday. They gave me everything, every cocktail they had, Myers cocktail, you name it. So they just wanted me to get all this treatment and then get back to them and how I feel. So I did it on Friday. I can't sleep any better than I've slept the last 4 nights.
Wow.
Out cold, 7 straight hours, wake up, feel refreshed. And I had this problem with my left knee. It was just wonky, it was just inflamed. The inflammation's completely gone. So these exosomes that you take in, and then the IV of the exosomes, like literally, they're just stem cells that go to the problem areas in your body, and they start working on it. And they remove the inflammation. They start growing new cells. It's outrageous what they can do.
Wow.
Baldy. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I told Lane Johnson, like, honestly, this is what's going to happen. After every NFL game, you're going to put that mask on and inhale exosomes for 15 minutes as part of the treatment. And if you're not doing it, you're not recovering as well as you possibly can. Some guys sit there, they put the ice bags on their knees. Some guys sit there, they take a bunch of painkillers. Some guys take some injections. I mean, everybody has a different thing. And sometimes you don't have anything, but you know, Lane's going into his 14th year. You're going to have some trauma. I don't care who you're playing against. You're out there for 65 plays. Like, it's just going to be part of people's treatment pretty soon.
What's better, the hyperbaric chamber or the exosomes?
Well, I think if you could do both, you could actually get exosomes injected, you know, through an IV, and the hyperbaric chamber definitely works. I mean, you just basically flooding your body with more oxygen, which is a healing all by itself, you know. And so, I think some level of combination of that would be really good.
That's awesome. But we have a guest coming up. It's a mystery guest, but I know who it is now. Do you remember JR, Jeremy Roenick?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, everybody knows Jeremy Roenick.
So JR is coming up. He's on the golf course. So you got to do the interview with us.
I'll do it. Listen, I saw, I saw Jeremy in Atlantic City one night, right?
Look
at
at
the
the smile on
Borgata.
his face. Like, you know, there's a story behind the whole thing.
Well, the funny thing was, you know, Jeremy was the ultimate, you know, tough guy. I don't know. Did he play 20 years? I don't know. But like, so he's got a shiner. The puck hit him in the face, you know, got a shiner. He's sitting at a blackjack table. And everybody knows who he is. Then, you know, they won the game, whatever. Atlantic City Expressway, an hour later, you're at the Borgata, right? So he's got this shiner. Everybody like, what happened? Like, they don't even ask him what happened. They know what happened. He either got a stick to the eye or he got a puck in the face. But either way, he's fine. He's winning. He's playing third base at blackjack. He's doing great. He's having some drinks. He's talking to his fans. He's got a shiner. Like, life is good. You know, I mean, I just walked by and I'm like, nice game, JR, something, whatever I said, you know. But yeah, he's just, you know, he's an old school animal, you know.
Takes one to know one. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah. Now, what golf tournament is he at?
I think he's just playing. I don't know if it's a tournament. He's just playing.
Yeah, I think he's just on the.
Because I'm playing in Kelsey's tournament on Monday.
Oh, are you? Where's that at?
Yeah. I could look. It you know, it's one of those nice courses out there. I think on the main line, I believe. Right. I didn't really look that hard.
You've been in Florida forever. When are you coming back?
I'm coming back on Thursday. This Thursday.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna be back for a little bit. You able to catch up with you?
Well, I got to go out to the SAC Summit. Von Miller, Max Crosby, they're all flying me out for the SAC Summit in Vegas. I'm leaving next Wednesday for 3 days. So I do all the video. So, you know, you want to learn how to ghost move. And the encouraging thing about this group of probably like 40 defensive linemen, outside linebackers, maybe 50. Like, there's a lot of young kids that just got drafted. So it'll be great. We got a 3-hour film session. I got to
get Anthony there.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is great.
Listen, he's playing edge.
Okay. I mean, just like, honestly, I was blown away.
I got to get
you. Yeah. So we went on the field. We're at UNLV, right? So we're on the field at UNLV last year. You know, Ward Sapp came in. You know, Brian Burns came from the Giants. Like, we had Max was there. So we probably had 50, 60 pass rushers. And the level of conversation about stances, formations, down distance, Von Miller talking about knowing the situation of the game, when to take a game over. He's taken 2 Super Bowls over in the final minute to close the game out, like how to close out, when to close out, when to throw your best move. Like, it's just a great think tank, honestly, about a position where obviously TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, they're all holding out. You know, it's just mushroomed into a $40 million a year job. But then when you get these guys there on the field talking about the profession and getting to the quarterback, affecting the quarterback, all those things, like, it just blows my mind away. And so I learned so much when I'm there.
When's the O-line masterminds?
That's in July. I think it's July 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th this year. So like I saw Tony Baselli last week in Jacksonville. Tony's coming. They always have 2 or 3 Hall of Famers. They're a part of a panel, so Tony's coming. You know, Lane started this thing 8 years ago. He brought me in to, I was at the NFL Network. Let's do some segments on the NFL Network. So Lane's always, so John Gruden is coming this year.
Ah, that's fantastic.
So Lane hit me up and he's like, Gruden's coming this year, Baldy. Like, I just want to know who's watching more film, you or Gruden. I'm like, Gruden have no chance of keeping up with me. None.
No, there's no way. You bury Gruden. Bury him.
No, he's not watching every game.
No.
He's not watching he's not watching. He's watching for offensive stuff and formations and quarterbacks, but he's not watching.
He's not watching the full game like you.
No, I don't think so.
No shot.
On a while, like he's he belongs in this fraternity. We need to get him back on the field coaching. You know, like that's his thing. All his three.
What do you think will happen?
He's got 3 boys.
Get a position, like he'll get a quarterback coach gig.
John?
Yeah.
I hope he gets back in. I hope this thing all blows over. All his 3 kids are coaching. His one son is the strength. I think his one son Deuce. I believe he's still the strength coach for the Commanders in Washington. I believe Jay brought him there. His brother Jay brought him there when he was head coach.
So it's when is it, the 10th and 11th?
Someone's firing against you.
Yeah, I think it's either the 9th and 10th or 10th and 11th because I got to look it up.
Let me know because maybe we'll do the show down there. That'd be fun.
All right, yeah. We could do something live for sure.
Yeah,
the turnout just grows every year.
Yeah,
now we're getting a lot of college kids. A lot of college kids are coming. Even high school kids are coming now.
Well, I got to get that. I got to get Anthony to Sack Summit, so we got to do that.
All right.
We have our special guest on the golf course joining Baldy and myself. Here he is, the great JR. What's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? How are you? I miss you so much. I miss all my Philly people so much. What's going on? What's happening?
Dude, you're the greatest. In fact, Baldy was just talking about it. Say hello to Brian Baldinger.
What's up, JR?
What's up, Brian?
How you doing, man?
I was listening to you talk, so I'm trying to get some hints on where my next bet's going to be. So that a boy, keep doing it.
We could do that. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, Jeremy. So I'll probably head over to Game 6 tonight. A bunch of your good friends will be there for the game. Announcers. Obviously Gretz, and a bunch of guys will be down here. We'll see if they can
Big Walt
back to back.
Big Walt's going to go down there, watch his kid win his second Stanley Cup, which is going to happen tonight. There's no way.
So too.
There's no way. And by the way, I'm just going to say I was kind of hoping a little bit for Edmonton and McDavid, just for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But Matthew Tkachuk and the Tkachuk family is too close to me, and it's great for the game. I think they're gonna blow this team out tonight and win the Stanley Cup again tonight.
They were on their way. Game 3.
Kachuk
Game
was
4 last Thursday when they let him back in. They kind of eased up a little bit. I'm sure you saw all of it, but let him back in, then lost in overtime. But I think they closed it out tonight.
Listen, it's kind of the way that the NHL. Have you seen trends, right? So teams that usually go back to back or have an opportunity to go back to back, they win in the opposing team's rink first, and then they come back the next year and they have a chance to win in their own building, and that's another situation that we're in again this year. And I think Florida is going to take advantage of winning this year in front of their own fans.
Well, Jeremy, to your point. They've won 10 games on the road. It's an NHL record going into these different buildings and winning like they have.
So you need 16 wins to win the Stanley Cup, and they have 10 of them on the road. That's like it's totally changes the mentality of what you think you need to win the Stanley Cup, which is home ice advantage. Home ice advantage means nothing anymore.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. You know what's wild too? Marchand has been there. He put them over the top again. It's unbelievable, JR.
The crazy rat. Hey, by the way, cuz this is why we say this. This is why old-time hockey always will rule. Because to play with grit, to play with fire, to play with like emotion and respect to the game, you're going to win. And Corey Perry, 10 goals. The oldest guys in the game right now are showing you guys how to win. And it's like, okay. So there's something about us talking about the old times and how we played with grit and fire and tenacity and like hard-nosed hockey. Like it's not pussyfooting around and dancing around. It's hard-nosed hockey. And Florida Panthers are hard-nosed hockey. The way they play, it's insane.
Yes.
So they are changing the way general managers are looking at their teams, 100%. And Danny Briere just brought in the footnote of Philadelphia hockey in Rick Tocchet.
Well, I couldn't wait to ask you about Toc, knowing how close you are, and him coming back home, what this means for the franchise.
Obviously, everything matters how the players react, right? But there's no question they're going to have a coach that's going to put them in the right position, give them the right system, and make them feel the way they need to feel to play the game the way the Philadelphia Flyers play the game. Not the way the game's supposed to be played, but the way the Flyers play the game. They have a jersey that has one of the craziest teams of all time in terms of the Broad Street Bullies. Okay. When you pull that jersey on, you pull over a mentality that your history has built. Tocchett's a part of it. Briere's a part of it. Jones is a part of it. Now, all these guys that put that jersey on every single day are going to have to answer to those guys. And they're going to have to answer to John LeClaire, who's also in the business, who has to answer to Patrick Sharp, who's also in the business.
I got chills.
So, like, for me, you pull that Flyer jersey on and you become a Broad Street Bully, period. End of sentence. And that's the way you're going to win. We see what's happening in Florida. They are Broad Street Bullies 2.0. So that's what needs to happen.
This is a Hall of Famer, Baldy. A Hall of Famer, baby. Are you kidding me? The great Jeremy Roenick.
My boys in Philly. I love you guys, man. I love you. I miss you. I wish the best for you. And let's be the next dynasty.
Yes.
Let's be the next dynasty.
Yes.
Come on.
Well, the one thing, Jeremy, like I go to some of these games. I actually was with Gretzky last Tuesday night. And the one thing, and he was having a good time, Jeremy, like old school good time, as you know. But the one thing about this team, and, if I was with Tocchet, and with Danny and the whole group, they skate so freaking hard. They never, they're forechecking. They just come after you in waves. Like four lines, they just keep coming after you. It seems like, however the conditioning level is, it looks different than other teams right now to me.
Well, I think they have the mentality. I think they have the core group, and now that Toc goes in there, they can build a mentality that Florida built, right? Where it's in your face, hard hockey, physical, yapping, no, not pushing anybody out. 20 guys on the same page. So I agree with you. I think it's there's some really good loins there, right? Really good loins, and it's up to the players to say enough is enough. We're not going to have the Flyers miss the playoffs again for the last 5 years or whatever the case may be. That can't happen anymore. It's got to be embedded. So, that logo on the front, it's got to be way more important than the name on the back. And and by the way, they have one of the toughest Philadelphia Flyers of all time as their coach. Who's going to tell him to go stick it? Nobody.
Right. Nobody.
Right? Yeah, nobody.
Hey,
so.
I don't want to kill you around, but just do me a favor, real quick. Tell Baldy the snake story.
I have a bunch of snake stories, but a snake came into my garage and it was not good. My wife came out and saw the snake, so I grabbed my 60-degree wedge, which I have right behind me, my 60-degree wedge, and I stuck it on his head, and I picked it up, and I was so excited that I picked up this rattlesnake and I threw it into my neighbor's yard because I didn't like my neighbor. I'm like, you're
What is the one where you put the snake in your room with your wife? She freaked out.
Well, I grabbed it, and the other one is I grabbed it at the clubhouse,
right?
And at my club, which was 2 miles away, and I got in my car with holding the snake, and it wrapped around my arm, and I drove 2 miles home. My wife was making the bed, and I came up and I showed my wife the snake, and she literally clung to the ceiling. Like, who brings a snake home from the golf course? I'm like,
JR does that. Brother,
yes.
We love you, man.
Love you, guys.
All right,
love you guys.
Love
you
you,
guys.
Good, Jeremy.
Love you guys.
Hall
See
of
you guys.
Famer.
Love you.
HOF,
love
baby. JR. How cool.
Wow.
Seriously, having
Nice
you and JR at the same time, that's like goat cool right there.
Yeah. Nah, he's like that. What he spoke about though is exactly right. And so I hope that the guys they got in the building now can start to change the culture and turn it around for Flyer fans and for hockey and for everything else.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a long drought.
I want you to get in because you're a hockey man. I want you to be a big Flyer guy now. Like, I know you always liked them, but now they're going to be on the ascent. All right, so we're going to get Baldy on the bandwagon.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Well, I've known Talkin a long time, so I mean, I will be over there for sure. But I like to go out to some of the practices and watch them take control and see what some of the things they're working on.
Yeah,
so I mean, Talkin himself, but Jonesy, Talkin, like those guys are, they're just salt of the earth guys, so they're good guys to be around.
Well, this brings me to something I always loved, right? I love this as a kid. I loved when the 4-for-4 community was together, and this goes back to the vet days when you were tight with all the Phillies and you knew all the Sixers. Like that was very real of you guys in a fraternity.
I'm still friends with Mitch Williams. I'm still, but we shared a. I mean, it sounds weird, but the Phillies and Eagles and the vet, we showered in the same shower. We had the same sauna. So you see these guys, you'd see Lenny, you'd see Mitch, you see the whole group, Pete. So I mean, in Cavilla, like we saw those guys. So they're playing the Braves in the NLCS. Like we're there on first base side cheering them on. We're in the locker room, in '93. All the way up until that fateful day against Toronto, there all the way.
That's
with the hockey guys as well. I think we froze here.
Yeah, you froze. Is that right?
Nah.
He's froze. We can hear him. We can hear you, Baldy. We just your video froze.
Yeah.
But what the one thing that I love about you is that you don't cheat life, right? Like every time you can make a memory, you're there. Like I just admire that. Like I love that about you.
Well, I feel like at some point all of us are going to end up in the rocking chair, at whatever age that is. We all end up in a rocking chair. So when you're in the rocking chair, if you don't have any stories, I feel like you're just going to be rocking by yourself. But if you've got a lifetime of stories, you might have a nice group around you holding court. And so the rocking chair is just a metaphor, obviously, but it could be anything. It could be going to, dinner at a diner. It could be at a restaurant. It could be in the living room. It could be a holiday. Like, do you want to be the center of the attention because you've got more stories? So I'm just trying to accumulate more stories day by day, year by year right now.
Yeah. That's the greatest. I love it. All right, we are how many days away from kickoff?
79.
79 days until kickoff. All right, Eagles and Cowboys. And Baldy, I still, and this will be the last thing, and we'll let you go, but I'm still excited that Dallas is coming in.
Me too.
Like we're counting down we went from the last game will be the Super Bowl to this game kicking off of Eagles Cowboys. Like, I don't remember a bookend as great as this. This is the ultimate.
Well, I mean, it helps that one end of the bookend is the Super Bowl championship. All right. So that helps, But like I've said before, like this thing could be a disaster for Dallas. Like you got a new coach, you got all these new players, and here they come. Like I remember in '92 when the Cowboys came to see the Eagles at the Vet on a Monday night, when the city was lit up like I've never seen. Like both teams are undefeated. Both teams are 3-0. Here's Monday Night Football coming to town. There's Jimmy Johnson pacing on a sideline before the game. And we destroyed them. Now they beat us in the playoffs, so they got the last word. But that night, it's still one of the greatest regular season games that I've ever not just played in or been a part of, but I've ever seen. Like the electricity it'll rival anything. And I have a feeling it's going to feel like that on Thursday night in 79 days. And, the Eagles send them on that Jerry Jones jet going back to Dallas, like just a bad loser. Like this thing, this could be really bad for Brian Schottenheimer and the Cowboys. I have one other question. One other question for you. How is it, I'm not here to bash the Cowboys, but how is it that their best player for the last 4 years has not been extended? You imagine Howie Roseman not extending their best. They signed Saquon Barkley to an extension last year and extended him after 1 year and paid everybody and still have money left over if they want to go do a deal. And the Cowboys can't sign their best player.
Yeah, I don't understand it because that to me is a statement to your football team. Like, listen, if I'm going to make Michael Parsons Mr. Cowboy, like he's going to go down in lore of everybody else, Emmett and Troy and everybody else, Too Tall Jones, you name it. He's going to be a Mr.
Randy
Cowboy.
White.
Like, you're not going anywhere. You're my guy. Like, I don't know why the Jerry hasn't done that with Micah.
But why? But how is it that, like, they make this mistake all the time? They did it with Dak. And all it does is, look, when TJ Watt signs, the amount of money is just going up. Just the way it did with Nick Bosa, it's just going up. It's going to be north of $40 million.
Right.
So you could have done it 2 years ago, which would have been the right time, and extended him for 5 years. And you would have gotten him at 32 or 30. But now it's at 4. Like, you're just making the same mistake that they make all the time with their great players. Look, you've drafted well. CeeDee Lamb, you drafted well. Dak, you struck gold. All right, Zeke, you did well. But, like, they can't figure out that the salary cap is only going up, and the amount of money for a great player at any position now is only going up. So what are you waiting for? Write the check. Make them a part of the franchise.
I think you're spot on, man.
The Birds are the second largest favorite. They're -7 for Week 1 against the Cowboys.
They're a 7-point favorite. Wow, that says something.
What's the biggest line?
It's the Broncos are 7.5 against the Titans.
Yeah, the Titans are walking out a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward in an organization that looks lost, and they're a half a point different than the Eagles and the Cowboys, supposed to be their biggest rival. Yeah. I mean, Vegas knows like that. That's wild.
I mean, like you said it, like they're gonna rout them. Like you said it, like they're you can just feel it. You can see it now. The Eagles are going to be prepared. I don't know what's going to happen at the end, but they're going to be prepared. They're going to walk in. I mean, Saquon's already talking about his new routine. They're the thing that I'm most impressed about is how focused they are. Like for young kids.
Look, we won't know really how focused they are, except that I've been to an OTA. They looked awfully focused. They had 5 weeks less time off season than the Cowboys. Okay. They enjoyed themselves. Some went to the White House, some went to vacations, lanes over here. Like, they went all over. They enjoyed themselves. But it seems like they're all back and they're ready to roll. They're ready. They're counting down the days to training camp. They've got their scrimmages lined up. It looks like they have had zero distractions. this offseason? Zero. Like, nobody's gotten in any trouble. Like, they look like they've got this tunnel vision to go back.
Yeah, I got to tell you. So Cooper and Reed obviously do the show here, right, weekly. So they bring all kinds of guys in and all.
Yeah.
And, you know, nothing, but Smith, like every one of them, like just great kids. Like,
yeah, great kids.
Like, dude, focused. Like, I think back to, like, we talk about, like, with JR and all party and the hard days, right? These dudes have it all, but they're just locked in. They're still about their work. They get their work done, man.
I mean, and I hear this. I like, for example, I'm doing the SAC Summit next week, and who's going to be there but Jalix Hunt? You know, got a chance to play. Like, he's there. Like, he could be anywhere. It's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They could still be celebrating. They could be on a yacht. They could, whatever. He's going to be in Vegas in 105-degree heat trying to learn something from Max Crosby or Von Miller or Cam Jordan, whoever. Like, that's pretty cool.
It is.
It's like Jeffrey Lurie sitting in a rocking chair right now, holding court.
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones just listen to his stories right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. My brother, we love you, buddy.
Yep.
We'll talk to you on Friday. All right.
Talk to you Friday, cuz.
See you,
You got it.
Baldy. How about Baldy JR? Sammy. Cool, right? Those two? Give me Joe. Come on, Joe. You know.
He's chilling.
I'm here. I'm here. Joey,
all right, let's take care of some business.
All right, let's talk about our friends at Empire Today.
Empire
Today. Because just like your team needs a home court, home field advantage, your home also needs a home floor advantage. And Empire Today can help you get it, because Empire Today is flooring experts, dedicating flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. Not like the big box stores where when you talk to someone about flooring, they may have been doing lumber yesterday or plumbing the day before, and they might be in electricity tomorrow. They don't really know what they're doing, and that's the difference with Empire Today, because Empire Today lives and breathes flooring, and they'll be with you every step of the way, so it's a whole new ballgame, stress-free. Their flooring experts bring a digital designer virtual showroom right to your house on a laptop, take a couple snaps and pictures of the room you want flooring in, pick out some samples, and you can see if the flooring works, if it looks, if it matches. So there's no guesswork involved. And with Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day if your product's in stock, which is crazy because no one likes waiting. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners receive $350 discount when using the promo code PHLY. Super easy. Use the code PHLY, $350 discount. Restrictions do apply, so visit empiretoday.com/PHLY for the full details.
All right.
Let's talk about our Streamathon.
Streamathon.
It's go time tomorrow.
Yo, make sure you're there tomorrow, fellas. Streamathon all day.
Beers, food, and partying.
You're gonna learn a lot tomorrow.
Because PHLY is going live for 12 straight hours. Streamathon presented by our friends. Who else other than TruMark Financial? That's right. You get a full day of wall-to-wall sports, laugh, chaos, maybe some stone breaking, and your favorite PHL talent doing what they do best, keeping Philly fans entertained.
Who should I tackle first?
Not us.
Bo Wolf. Tackle Bo. Yes. We're going to have guests behind the scenes.
I go after Fran a lot, but Fran doesn't want to. Fran doesn't like the horse around.
Fran doesn't like to play around like that. He's very serious.
Yeah.
He's a very serious man. So we'll have special guests behind the scenes.
Go after the bro. All fails. I got to go after the bro.
Flip-flops flying in the air. So whether you're repping the Birds, Bleeding Flyers, Orange, or just here for the vibes, you're not going to want to miss this. It's all streaming on our YouTube channel. And here's the kicker. The best way to support us, hit the subscribe button. Not only does it help us keep creating content Philly fans deserve, but it gets you front row access to every moment of this madness. So it's tomorrow. Clear your schedule and get ready with PHLY. 12 hours, one city, all vibes. Tomorrow, Streamathon. Subscribe
one city,
now.
all vibes. That's very cool. I love that. Streamathon.
That is a good one.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be good stuff. Do we have our man?
We have our man.
One of the things I love about this format is that each week I get to talk to me, I think, are the best voices in the city, right? Like I read David Murphy. I read Mike Silsky, right? I love their voices.
I don't know. I mean, I read David Murphy. I don't know. I kind of wish I didn't this week. His piece about the bullpen pieces got me a little scared, a little nervous.
Listen, it's his job.
I know.
It's to make you think.
He does.
Let's go to our man, our new favorite dad, father of Max.
And he's got an MTV shirt on? Yeah.
What's up, brother?
MTV Spring Break shirt. Yeah.
Oh, that's classic. Oh, dude, that's classic.
So good.
I can totally see you. Totally see you down there doing shots.
I was not there. I was not there, but it was just a great shirt on Amazon. So I went for
You
it.
were there back in the day. Come on.
I never did spring break. I was a working man.
You never did spring break ever.
No,
Not even down to Wildwood?
I did not.
I would have pegged you as spring break man.
Well, I mean, I was hustling a lot in college. I was working 3 different jobs, so I never really had a chance to cut loose. But look, it looked like a great time on TV. I'll tell you that much. remember DJ Scribble? That guy was the man.
Yes,
What's
I
he
do
up to?
remember DJ Scribble.
Yes. And I remember all the booty shaking next to DJ Scribble,
Oh yeah.
which is the only reason why you watched it.
I bet you Scribbs like one of those. I bet you Scribbs one of those crypto guys now. He's got probably a Bitcoin Twitter account.
Yes, you're spot on. He's definitely a crypto guy. That's fabulous. All right, let's talk about your piece that scared VG, which I thought brought up valid points.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Let's talk about your fears, bud. What?
yeah, I mean, it's going to cost a lot. There's nothing great out there. And it's going to be super competitive to get them. Great.
Other than that.
Yeah, other than that. Yeah. What's not to worry about the bullpen?
Yeah, but like, look, it's not a surprise, right? I mean, we saw. Look, like I said, like I wrote, the Padres showed us last year it can be done. They had a better bullpen going into it than I think the Phillies do, arguably, with Estrada and Suarez, and they had some pieces, but they you put a guy like Jason Adam and Tanner Scott in this Phillies bullpen, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, with that starting pitching and with that kind of bullpen, all of a sudden you're talking about, maybe this is a team the team to beat in the National League. But it's going to cost you one, and like he said, those guys might not be out there this year. Look, I think Aroldis Chapman's probably going to end up being the kind of the belle of the ball this year. He's going to be the big difference maker. But look, first, you could argue that they need more than Aroldis Chapman. Right. One guy does not a bullpen make, and two, everyone needs an Aroldis Chapman in their bullpen, and there's going to be a bidding war, right?
I mean, I kind of like Finnegan. You kind of crapped on that one because he stinks outside of the ballpark. Bednar, horrible second half of last season, been sent down to the minors. Bautista, I don't remember if you mentioned Bautista. I do like him.
No, I did not. I honestly keep forgetting that the Orioles are that bad and might be sellers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what is his contract situation? I didn't even look at him.
I don't know. Let me see. I'll find out.
That's the thing. So the big thing they have to, they got to decide a couple different things. How much you willing to give up for a rental. And now keep in mind, the Padres, as good as they were down the stretch and as great as that bullpen was, and as great as they were against the Dodgers in the NLDS, they lost. And so now you're sitting here looking at it like, was it worth it? Even though it worked, was it actually worth giving up 4 of your top 5 prospects? And look, I think the argument to me, I think the Otto Kemp thing should kind of instruct the way they're operating. Because to me, at least, I don't know if you guys agree, but you have seen the energy that he has brought to that lineup, just being new and putting his bat on the ball. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they've won since that. I know he hasn't been great, but you watch him up there and it like brings a little bit of juice, and to me, you might be better off starting to bring maybe a Justin Crawford up and see what he does, and look, the good thing is they have a couple of positions that you can't get much worse at, in center field and second base. And it sucks to say about second base, given how much I like Bryson Stott, but the guy's been a complete zero for 2 months. And
dude,
they have.
I saw this thing on the internet. Stott without the walk-up song and his good looks is Freddie Galvis.
Wow,
Freddie might have a better glove.
Wow, that's
yeah.
Wow, that's rough.
Wow,
that's rough.
Yeah.
That's actually true too.
It stinks because look, I mean, look, Bryson, a World Series team should be able to have a Bryson Stott in their lineup. Yeah. One, right? He should be your 9-hole hitter who's a Gold Glove second baseman and still brings enough to the plate that isn't a complete zero. But the problem is he needs to be. They kind of go as he goes when you look at it. Like, they need someone in the bottom half of that lineup hitting, and he's kind of the best option, and they just don't have now with look, if Kepler can stay hot, that changes some things, but there's an argument that you just bring in some guys that aren't going to cost you a whole lot. Like, I mean, with the National or the Mets with Jesse Winker last year, moves like that I think might make a lot more sense for them. And bring in some depth in the bullpen and just hope that Orion Kerkering can be a guy in the 8th or 9th. Hope that Romano continues to pull it together. Hope that Strom, figure some things out and kind of shakes off whatever this malaise that he's been going through. I think that might be the best option.
Bautista's going to cost you. He's got 2 years of arbitration left.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the Orioles aren't rebuilding, so you're going to have to.
I mean, right. I don't know why they would trade him. I agree with you. You're not going to sell.
You would have to make them. That's the thing. You would have to look. The Brewers traded Josh Hader a couple of years ago. And there's a price for everything that makes sense for everybody. So I just don't think that price is going to make sense for the Phillies, given where that system is at. Look. I know everyone's tired of hearing about Logan O'Hoppe, but it's not just Logan O'Hoppe. When you trade a Ben Brown away for David Robertson, the more of these guys you trade, some of them are going to end up panning out, and you're going to look back and be like, oh man, it would be nice to have Ben Brown as either in the bullpen or as a sixth starter here, with some rotation depth. It would be nice to have Logan O'Hoppe, given that JT Realmuto's hubcaps are falling off. These trades cost.
I can also argue, though. I mean, the Jason Donalds and the Tyson Gillies and there's a Kyle Drabeks. There's a lot of those guys that just miss, and you're still trying to win.
Yeah, but are you good? I guess that's the thing. Look, the best way I could put it is, if this was like a grocery store and Dave Dombrowski was walking down the aisle and on the shelf was this will guarantee you to get to the World Series and it will cost this much, then yes, we're talking, yes, I agree, then they're at a point where that's worth it. The problem is, again, Padres didn't get anything for it last year, really, and now here they are. I don't know, it's the big question is, how close are you? And you can argue they are close. I mean, it would be a shame if this starting rotation did not have a bullpen to match, because it's the kind of thing that could really take you a lot of different places. I mean,
I can tell you, I think you can argue that you need a bat even more so, because the bottom line is, with their rotation and their pitching depth, you can mix and match, right? You can bring guys out of the pen. You can figure out something, because you have a plethora of arms. What has killed them, it killed them against Arizona, and it killed them last year against the Mets, is the inconsistent run production. And you could make the argument that I need another bat. I need a vibrant bat that's got power, that can play the outfield, right? That could really kind of fix my lineup.
But I love that word, vibrant. It's just a great word to describe a hitter.
Right? Because that's what it is. Isn't that what they need most?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, again, like the Kemp thing, look, let's not build it up into, let's not turn the guy into a hero and write songs about him, but you can see it on TV, the energy that he has brought,
Yes.
and I think vibrancy is a great word for it. And I think the big question is, I don't know. I haven't dove into the hitters as much as I have the pitchers yet. But the little that I've looked, I haven't seen anybody this year that's. I mean, Luis Robert has not been good in two. I didn't realize how bad he has been. He's been worse than Rojas at the plate. And other than that, I don't know who is out there as far as hitters go. And
I mean, you probably have to look at Ward from the Angels, right? Cedric Mullins. Like if I came away with Ward and Mullins, like I got two outfielders and both can hit. Yeah,
and I would say like the good thing, it's like weird because the good thing about being as bad as the Phillies are at times is it's not hard to upgrade, So part of me thinks, again, I bring up Winker just because of how much he was such an obvious move. He was a guy I wanted them to get last year. I think he's a little prickly in the club. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they won't. Tommy Pham was another one, a couple years ago. And that was a knock on him, was the clubhouse stuff. But like guys like that, just guys who can diversify your skill set. Like I don't think Kemp is I don't think he's going to be a necessarily an all-star or middle of the order hitter or top of the order hitter, but he has a skill set that I'm thinking about that single he had. I forget if it was last night or 2 nights ago, where he goes down and gets a breaking ball, at his ankles, off the plate, and yanks it into left field for an RBI, and like they don't like Brandon Marsh has never put his bat on that ball in his entire life, I think, So it's more about like diversifying your skill set around, away from these. Like, look, Alec Bohm, he's a guy with a unique skill set that should be able to be part of your lineup in a good way, except you're relying on him for too much, So if you can start to get some of the like the part of the problem is, center field is just and frankly, Stott has just been such a zero. You can't get away with having two holes like that in your lineup. And if you can just replace them with, guys who can do what Kemp has been doing, like that, maybe that's all you need,
Problem is you got JT that I don't know you can count on long term for run production. Stott. We talked about Bohm, and Bohm's got a cap to what he could do as a run producer. He really should be hitting 7th, right? Like,
and that's the JT thing. And I want to be very clear. There's no knock on him. It happens. Like, he's a catcher, and they were playing with house money for so long because their catcher just happened to also be one of their middle of the order bats. And if you think about it too, it's really obvious what's happened to this lineup. 3 years ago, you had Rhys Hoskins and JT Realmuto hitting, 5th and 6th or 4th and 5th, depending on the day. And look at what they did during the playoffs and that year. And you haven't replaced those bats. You lost Hoskins. He hasn't been here, and you haven't been able to replace him because Harper moved to first and was replaced with a replacement level hitter in the corners. And then Realmuto is not the guy he was 3 years ago. He's an eight-hole hitter now. And you're missing 2 big middle of the order bats that you had 2 years ago. And that's really all it comes down to, when you look at it.
Yeah. Hey,
the question is, how do you make up for it if there's no middle of the order bat available?
No, you're right. You're spot on. I want to switch gears with you real quick because we just had Jeremy Roenick on, and he brought up putting the Flyers sweater on and how that's going to get back to meaning something, which I thought was really interesting, especially in a sport like hockey where there is something about when you put on a uniform and how it makes you feel. And he's like, dude, getting Tocchet is a big deal because he's going to try to instill that pride of putting back the sweater and putting the sweater on. And listen, I get it, it's all about winning. But to get to to provide a culture and a backdrop for winning, it's got to start somewhere. I just loved what he said about getting back to respecting that sweater.
Yeah, but also, you know, Connor McDavid trumps any sweater feeling that you'll ever get.
Right.
You know, it comes down to talent at the end of the day. And like you said, I think the winning and the pride go hand in hand. And I think that you know, Tocchet is obviously a great coach, and he's the perfect fit for this organization from an attitudes perspective, from a tradition perspective, and from a perspective instilling that exact pride that you're talking about. I'm not diminishing that. I'm not diminishing the importance of that. But at the end of the day, it's the front office that's going to determine where this team.
Yes. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the only thing is, and Jared brought up a good point. The two guys, listen, McDavid's McJesus, right? He's ridiculous.
Right.
Him and Draisaitl are two of the greatest players in the game today. And they're there. But they're being beat by Kachuk and Marchand. Like, chew those dudes that have those intangibles, man. Like, there is something about what they have and they possess that there is a lesson for winning.
But those guys are also, you know, those guys were elite prospects, weren't they? You know,
Yeah, I mean, Marchand is a veteran and 37 years old, and
to check up,
yeah,
the trucks I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other, you know, obviously you have the Bobrovsky thing too. You know,
yeah,
where at the end of the day, you know, regardless of the sport, and I'll give you this: hockey. When an expansion team can win a Stanley Cup, you know, obviously it's a different kind of sport, and one that can be cobbled together on the fly because of a lot of what you're talking about, you know, in terms of the attitude and how much that plays, and also getting a hot goalie, and look, even just the top defenseman pair can really take you a long way, you know. So, yes, I'm not diminishing any of that, but at the end of the day, you got your roster is a result of the decisions that your front office makes and the philosophy that they have, and the evaluating talents that they have. And you can't overcomplicate it where you know, it's all going to be about whether the Flyers can get back to having that, you know, late 90s level of talent. I mean, they don't have a core. They haven't had a core since the Richards, kind of Carter years. And, you know, as much as a coach matters, and tradition and organizational pride matters, having a team that grows together, too, you know, and that, like, they just have to get that, and maybe they have it now. You know, maybe they have the beginnings of it, but look, I remember turning them on Super Bowl Sunday when they were up, whatever, 3-1 on the Bruins, and then lost 7-4 or something like that. But first of all, they were fun to watch, had zero defense whatsoever. But the biggest thing was I didn't know anybody on the team other than you know, Mishakov and I can't even tell you who. There are a couple guys that are like, okay. But, you know, you need to get the team to a point where, you know, ducks fly together kind of thing, you know, and they're just not there yet. It's as someone who grew up with the Legion of Doom and loved hockey, and then just kind of fell off, you know, once that Richards team kind of disintegrated, you know, they got to get back to a point where they're building something. And it just feels like there's so many different fits and starts between Carter Hart and you know, it just feels like, you know, this guy matters, and then he's here for 3 years and he leaves, and they just need to build, you know, and you got to build around the right pieces. And I feel like anything other than that, you know, that's where they are.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. Next week, we dive into the Sixers big because it's draft week. So we got to dive into it.
I can't wait.
My head is hurting already thinking about them.
Dude, I'm a VJ. I decided I'm a VJ Edgecombe guy.
My man.
I went down. I had not watched him much at all. And then I spent last week. I spent some time just kind of watching, you know, game tape of his off YouTube and the highlights. And look, man, I like the guy. I don't know that he's going to be You know who he is to me? Is he's like, he reminds me of the guy who I thought Davion Mitchell could be if Davion Mitchell could learn how to, shoot and score. And I
By
like
the way, real
that.
quick,
I think
we're in overtime. OT, baby. OT. David Murphy, the great David Murphy with us. Davion Mitchell. You thought he would be Davion Mitchell.
Well, I thought he had that vibe though, where he's got put it this way. I think he's got a very high floor in terms of he's going to be a guy that helps your team, and Ace Bailey, I think the floor don't go, there's no floor low enough for him, or like Ace Bailey he has Ben Simmons vibes to me, and a lot like Trey Johnson has like Gary Trent. Like, do you want Gary Trent? Do you want to draft that guy? Like
How about Trey Nutt?
I love Dylan Harper. I just don't think Dylan Harper's a unique enough prospect that, it's all kind of nonsense right now where the Spurs aren't going to think about trading. Now, maybe, if they do, I would sell the farm for it because I think Harper's that good. I mean,
I
the
do
guys,
too. That's what I want. I want them to trade up for Harper.
I mean, he's got I forget what my comp was. It was like Brunson and Cade Cunningham, some combination.
Yeah,
of those two.
I think that's accurate.
But with he's got Cade's size.
I just rolled his eyes. I just saw you roll your eyes.
I mean,
who are you? You're like my son. I want to smack him. He rolls his eyes.
Did Brunson? Did he achieve in college? Was he a champion?
Yeah, look,
I'm playing Rutgers and not make the tournament. Comparing him to Brunson's.
No, I'm talking about style. I'm talking about style.
About the comp as a player.
No, I get it, but the whole makeup of the player.
Stop, VJ.
I'll be honest with you. Like, so this is like, I could be completely wrong about this. I've created this whole thing in my head where Ace Bailey has to be that bad because Dylan Harper's that good and Rutgers was that bad. Therefore, Ace Bailey has to be.
I love your Ben Simmons vibes because you're right. Like, I look at Ace, I go, look at this kid. This kid should be a stud, right? And he's not.
Right.
And you go, we've seen enough of these flea kids.
Yeah.
Fultz, fleas, Ben, infestation, right? Like we've seen that. Harper to me is, I'm with you. That's a game changer of a franchise player.
I'm with VG where it gives me a tremendous amount of pause that something clearly was one of those two guys ain't that good if both are in the top three and Rutgers couldn't finish above 500. So I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Harper for two reasons. One, I watch his tape and I'm like, man, this guy can play. Like he's got a nice game and he's got the size. And look, Anthony Davis's team or Anthony Edwards' team stunk in college. And I had the same number of reservations with him. And look, sometimes it's not just Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons and whatever. But I would also say that Ron Harper being your dad, that brings you a little bit in mind because Ron Harper was a dog.
Dog.
And I find it very hard to believe that Ron Harper would raise a son who turned out to be Markelle Fultz.
Damn right.
Hey, I'm on the record. I'm not saying Harper's Markelle Fultz. I just like the ceiling of VJ Edgecombe.
I love Edgecombe. I think he's got.
If he gets a better handle,
you love Harper. You can't love Harper and Edgecombe.
He loves Edgecombe. You heard it. Clip that, Frazier. Clip that cut. He loves Edgecombe.
I love
Edgecombe. I love Edgecombe.
You can't love Edgecombe.
I love Edgecombe if the draft is starting at number 3 and we're taking Harper and Flag off the board. I think Edgecombe, he's like, look, man, let's not like that Pacers Thunder series should make people like Daryl Morey completely reevaluate what they think about the NBA. And I think that someone brought this up the other day on Twitter, and it's totally correct. Like one attribute is stamina that the modern the modern NBA is kind of dead. The whole idea of like the just pace and space and that's all it is. Dude, you gotta everyone's caught up. The reaction has happened. And now it's guys like Nesmith who are the modern NBA day player. You know, Anunoby's a modern NBA day player, modern day NBA player, because you got to play two ways. You got to be able to run like a soccer player, you know, and you got to bring it on both sides of the court. And Edgecombe, to me, I watch his tape and I'm like, that he is that guy. You know, he's a two-way wing that has a ton of athleticism, can play above the rim, and frankly, and
he can shoot.
And yeah, and he's got the makings of his mechanics tell you that he could easily shoot 39% from three in the NBA. And if you got that, you know,
he's
you
not
got
a volume scorer.
We'll see.
Yeah, but you don't like. He's got look. Put it this way, I think at the very worst, if he's a bust, he's Josh Hart. You know, because I think he can bring.
Really, Josh Hart? No,
he hates him. He hates him.
I don't hate him. I just hate him. No, I don't hate him. You overrate him is why it turns me off.
Right.
Because you completely overrate him. He's a nice player, is what he is. He's got to.
You got to be able to see the future. You got to see the future.
He doesn't have I'm looking for a cathedral ceiling.
Yeah.
Instead, I got a basement row home ceiling.
Nah.
Yeah, but you're not getting that out of at number 3 most times. You know?
True. You're right.
Like, and that's unfortunate. That's the unfortunate thing about.
You're right. I don't.
But
you're right.
I think if you come away with a player, look, I'm with you. You should be thinking star. But I think this is where the Sixers have gotten into problems in the past, where, you know, shoot for the star, or what was it? Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars. Like, you got to like focus also on what happens if the guy misses. At the very least, you got to come out of this with a capable NBA player. You can't have a Marco Fultz or Ben Simmons or somebody who
Okafor.
gives you, you know, you gotta get somebody. And I think Edgecombe gives you the best chance of getting somebody who, at the very least, will be part of your rotation. And then he also brings some upside with it.
Preach.
All right. Well, I love it. It's great conversation. Great stuff. We'll get to next week with you, brother. How's Max?
He's doing great, man. He's starting to like talk a lot, like quote unquote talk a lot. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. I watched him. So the other day, we've got this thing called the Baby Bjorn, which is like this bouncer.
Yeah, I know the Baby Bjorn. Yeah.
And it's got this bar that you can put up that has like little things hanging that he can like whatever. And I watched a guy yesterday. He like spent. I told you last time we talked. He was like just figuring out that his hands, he was in control of them, and so like I watched him for like 15 minutes just sit there and try to like grab the one birdie, you know. And it was just like he's trying so hard, and like his like right arms, like he's trying to move his left arm, and his right arm's like, you know. But then finally he gets it, and he just had the biggest smile on his face, you know, and he's like staring at it, and then he like let it go, and he started doing it again, you know. So look, I don't know why anyone wants to grow up. I say stay 2 months forever.
Dude, you're spot on, man. You're spot on. How'd you enjoy your first Father's Day?
Yeah, it was great. Look, I feel like I didn't really earn it yet, you know. I feel like next Father's Day will feel more like Father's Day, you know. But yeah, it was good. It was you know, it was low key, but you know, it wasn't every day's Father's Day when you just had a kid, you know. Every day feels like Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's like you're like, holy crap, I'm a father, you know. Where I think a year from now, once I've like successfully managed to like do my job for a full year, I feel like it'll be easier to give yourself the space to enjoy the day and kind of claim the title. But for now, I feel like it's still Father's Day is still for you guys who put in the work. I feel like I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, well, you're on your way, buddy.
Does he have his first band T-shirt yet?
Band?
Yeah. I have to get him a little Iron Maiden T-shirt.
Yeah, in fact, we were just talking about that this morning. You know, I didn't realize that like 90% of his clothes are Philly sports clothes right now. Nice. You know, like he's got like 3 Fanatic onesies, and you know, unfortunately, like 4 different Sixers onesies, which he's not going to wear any of them probably. Maybe I'll get him a Baylor onesie.
Yeah, now we're talking.
But But no, he needs a good. Actually, he's got a great. He's wearing a like a very sweet t-shirt pants combo today with an Avalon Beach t-shirt, which is pretty sweet.
Nice.
And he's got a really great American flag romper that you know, all the chicks are gonna dig at the beach. But yeah, I'm trying to think what my first band t-shirt would be. I really don't know what it would be. I mean, Iron Maiden.
Oh, Guns N' Roses. Can't go wrong. Guns
N' Roses would be cool.
Chicks dig DNR.
Yeah. It's
30 years ago.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna, in between now and the next time that I'm on with you guys, I'm going to get a band t-shirt and I'm going to figure out a good band that will make Greg completely downgrade and lose respect for me.
Yeah, that's great. All right, brother. We love you, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it, pal.
All right, my Baylor brother. Appreciate you.
See you.
Steve said that the draft started at 3.
He knows what he's talking about.
What do we got?
Oh, this is special. We're doing Back in the Day. This is a fun one, but we got a special song.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a viewer who sent in a song.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
My buddy.
Oh, God, I love it.
The best,
what a
right?
kid.
That's Van. Yeah, man. So he watches every day with my buddy Bill. Shout out to those guys.
Oh, I love that kid. That's fantastic.
We got a little TJ back in the day. Let's go 8 years ago.
Oh, I love that's a great call.
Ilyasova, by the way, covering Anthony. Henderson on Rose. Derrick Rose cut off, gives it up. They swing to Porzingis in the game for 3. Airballs it. Loose ball taken by Henderson. Sixers don't call the timeout. Here's Ilyasova. Here's McConnell. Can he get it off? Yes! And the Sixers win it!
Okay, that squad. Stauskas.
Oh, you see
TJ
Josh Harris?
rules, cards.
Yeah, give TJ his flowers.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us as we bid you guys farewell on 11/11. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Time. That's my time. Great job, Phrase. Joey, Sammy. Look at these dudes. My boys. Hanging. All right, everybody. Big day tomorrow. All right. Hang with us all day.
Yeah, streamathon. Get your sleep, carb load.
Come
Get
by.
some pasta tonight.
We should invite people over.
Yeah, it should be people walking in and out all day.
We'll give you the address. All right? Come on over. Come hang out with us.
Yeah,
It's
come
fun.
party.
All right? Have a great day, everybody. We love you. Be careful. Go Phils. See you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.